I'm doing something a little different today. I'm casing the catalog, and I forgot to grab my catalog to show you. Um, it's an idea I got from another demonstrator. There's so many great ideas there that you can take and make with something that you already have. And I've shown you the Have a Hoot bundle before that is so cute, and it has a die that does like three rectangles all together. And I'm going to show you today how to do that without that set in case you don't have that, if you have the rectangle dies. So we're going to be working with In the Pine stamp set, which I just got, so brand new to me. It's been on my wish list for a while. And then Snowfront, which came out last year, and love that, love that set. I have been, I think, in too much of a hurry today because everything I say today comes out garbled. I don't think I'm having a stroke. I just think I'm talking too fast, and maybe, yes, it is a jury day. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Talara. Nice to have you guys with me. So let me switch over to my camera and we will get started. All right, let me just make sure we're in screen here. Okay. All right, so these are the two sets that I'm going to be using, and I am going to try something here. Okay, I'm hoping to be able to switch back and forth between screens there. Okay, so what I did, let me start with the actual cutout. So for my background, I'm using crumb cake, and then I have white for the stamping part, but I cut out, I have the green piece, which is 5 1/4, it's Mossy Meadow, 5 1/4 by 4, and then my designer paper, which comes from the poinsettia set, that has the wood grain. I really like that. That is, let me think. I came down 1/8 of an inch, so 5 1/4. So 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay, I think that's right. Let me just check on. Oops, there we go. Yeah. One. Okay, yeah, I think that's right. Okay, I'm looking on my grid paper and it doesn't start at the 1, it starts at a half, so that makes it a little hard there. Okay, so what I want to do that now is, so I've created my little, my cutouts, just like with the Have a Hoot bundle, except I'm using the rectangle framelits, the stitch rectangle dies. And so these are the 3 that I use. There's one that sits here by itself, which is a small, almost a square. And then the second one the second one up, I should say, from the smallest of the thinner rectangles. And then we have a little bit thicker rectangles here, and I'm using the second one down. So that's what I used for this. And I was able to, I ran it all through at one time on both of these pieces. However, when you're this close with other dies, sometimes you will have trouble getting a good cut. And what happened was this one corner did not cut. So I was able to take the other pieces out, run that back through one more time. It did move a little bit on me, so it's a little bit off-centered. But that's how I started there. So I'm going to put those aside because I already cut that. And now we're ready to create our design. Let me go ahead and fold this and we'll be ready to stick that in place. I'm not going to glue anything together till we're done stamping though, because, oh, I hope I have some scrap paper here. Oops. That's not exactly scrap paper. Here we go. There's a messy piece of scrap paper. All right. Because I do want to, I'm going to stamp one here, but I'm going to also keep this handy, and I only need one of these because I want to make sure that I'm stamping in the windows and not somewhere else. So I'm going to start with Snowfront first because, yes, I am trying to do too much, Sylvia. You are so right. So I'm going to start with a little cabin, and let me find him here. Okay. And I'm going to use a combination of ink pads and markers because I want a little bit of different color on my stamp. So I'm going to ink that in crumb cake. And then I'm going to come in with my soft suede marker. And I'm going to just come down here along the edge, just edge a little bit of darker. And I want to come across the bottom here. I think my marker feels a little dry. And I don't want a lot of extra color, but I just want this to be able to stand out a little bit. Okay, now let's line this back up so we know where we want it. And I want it to be right in this window right here. So now you could put little markers there if you want. You could use a Post-it notes, might be great for this kind of thing. I could stick this in here and say, okay, there's about where I want that to be. You can do it however you want. I'm pretty good at eyeballing it, so I would be happy just lifting this up and stamping it. I'm going to breathe on it, huff on it, and stamp it. There we go. That looks pretty cool. All right, now let's go ahead and I'm going to move this away. I want to stamp a little tree there, but I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to line this back up and make sure I've got that like I want it. This is going to help me here with this one. So I'm going to stamp my scene up here. I'm going to use this tree. I love this little tree set, and I've used this a lot in my cards. Last year, if you were stamping with me last year, my block is a little small there. Let me get a bigger one. We used this quite a bit. We had some beautiful scenes that we did. Now, with this one, I'm going to ink it in crumb cake again. And this time, I'm actually going to, I want a lot of surface covered, so I'm going to go ahead and just bring my Mossy Meadow in here and ink that up where the tree line is. I think that should work pretty good. And I'm going to put that up here at the top. I don't really care how much of that is on the scene and not, so get that stamp there. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Love this set. All right, now I'm going to stick this back on here. Okay, I did get that up pretty high. That's okay. Now we need a snowman. I think there's a snowman in here. Let me see. Yeah, he's a little guy. I always forget about him. He's so tiny. And I'm going to stamp him on a hill. But first, let's do the hill. I want to make sure I have enough space for him. So I'm going to sit him there, and then I'm just going to lay the hill where I want it there. Now, I want it to sort of be a snowy scene, and with the crumb cake, it's not looking very snowy. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of blue. And instead of using my pad, I'm going to use my 2 markers. And let me get need lots of blocks when you're using these sets that have all these different pieces to it. So I think from what I saw on camera, we had only done this and this block. And then when I did this block and I did the snowman guy, I got some black ink down here. So I tried to cover that up so that the deer has some spots. It looks like it's a baby because it has some spots on its back. And then I did this scene down here where I did the same thing as up here, except I took my blue marker and just added a hint of blue to the bottom. It didn't show up a lot. And then I took the larger tree from the Snowfront set and stamped it in Mossy Meadow right here behind the cabin. Now, I was just getting ready when I realized, hi Linda, at least somebody found me. I was just getting ready to put a little swoosh of snow here on this. So what I was doing was, I think I had this inked up already when I realized that there was a problem. So I'm just putting some crumb cake on here. And then I'm going to come in with some of my balmy blue and just put it on the top of that little swoosh of snow. And then we're going to stamp that right here so that the cabin has something to sit on. And maybe I'll just go ahead and do that twice to get it a little filled in there. Okay? All right. So frustrating when these videos don't act right. I did get this a little crooked. I'm very sad about that. I might have to go back and do another one just so that I can straighten that out, because I have issues with uneven things. Now, I did bring some adhesive, and I am ready now to put this in place. I think I have what I wanted to put on there. And did I put everything? Oh, you know what? The deer needs, he needs something to stand on there. Let's see if there's any ink left on this. Breathe on it a little bit. Oh, we got a little bit. Let's add a little bit more there. I don't need that full strength, but I would like to get a little bit of blue on there. There we go. I'm just going to slide that a little bit to try to get that blue to blend. There we go. Okay, now I'm ready to go ahead and put my adhesive on. Just going to fill in wherever I can. This might be one that where this narrow parts are, to add a little bit of green glue. I don't like to waste my adhesive, but this Seal Plus, it comes off in just little strips, so you can pretty easily get just a little bit on there. And I did get a little bit over the edge right there, so I'm going to fold that in. And right here, I got some over the edge. I do not have good aim when it comes to putting adhesive on. All right, so now let's line that up on here. And as long as it's in the spot, as long as the white is not showing, I'm going to just move it around to where I like the best part of the scene. And this way I can see the tree a little bit better here. And then this piece is ready to go. And it doesn't matter how straight this is back here, because nobody's going to see that part. Okay, and now that's going to go on our crumb cake base that we started already. Okay, now my last thing that I want to do is I want to add a saying, and I have a piece of Mary Merlot. And let's see, where did it go? Here it is. Now, we don't have any Mary Merlot in our card, but Mary Merlot goes really pretty with the green and the tan, so I think that will look nice together. And I am going to use the saying from In the Pines for the season's greetings. So let me pull that out. You can use any greeting that you want, of course. As today we're talking about how you can use what you have to do something that you've seen that you like. So in this case, any greeting's going to work. I am going to emboss it with white powder though, because anytime you stamp on something this dark, you're going to have to emboss it with something lighter. It could be gold, silver, or white. In this case, I'm using white. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Versamark pad. I'm using my really, really ugly, messy one today. It's just what I had out. And I'm just going to stamp that right there. And then we're going to get some white powder on it. And I think I have my heat tool plugged in here. Let me get, I usually like to put this away first so that I don't blow powder everywhere. And make sure I don't have any messes of paper on there, because I don't want that in my white powder. Okay. Let's go ahead and heat that up. And I like to just hold this at one spot until it starts to change. And there you go, you can see the change, hopefully. And then I just gently move it until everything is heated. And that way, I am not heating it so much in one spot that it's sinking into the paper. You can heat it too much, you can actually burn your paper, but the worst thing for me is if it sinks into the paper. And if you don't overheat it, it's not going to do that. And of course, I only have ribbon scissors, and I didn't bring my great punch, which I love to use for this. The mini, I don't know what it's called, but it does all the cute little tails on the end, and I don't have that with me, but this is going to go right here, and I'm going to put that on with a dimensional, or 2 or 3. Let's do 3 since this is a fairly wide piece. And this will be done. It is a fun little set to use. If you have this, I hope you'll pull it out and use it. If you don't have it, you might want to add this to your collection because it is really, it's so versatile with the deer, the cabin, the trees, the snowman. There's so many things that you can do. I just saw that my snowman is hanging off the edge of the snowbank there. Don't like that too much, but it's what it is, right? We created this together today, and I hope that I've inspired you to do a little stamping on this really not so nice day that could make you feel a little dreary. But I have been stamping all day, so I am not feeling very dreary. I'm feeling very excited. I'm working on a lot of things. The Saturday is my event for my team, which I have a few coming. Not as many as normal because of what's happening today, but I'm happy for the ones that are able to come, and I'm excited to do some fun things for them. And then I'm also working on, oh, so many things. My Christmas cards, I've got to get those going. Hopefully you're working on yours and getting some done. And then I'd like to bring you some really cool Christmas things in the next week or two so that you're ready for the holidays. So I will hopefully, I'm not promising every day. I just don't think I can make that happen. But I have some really cute ideas to show you that might give you some little gift ideas, quick and easy tags or that type of thing that you could do for your holiday gift giving. So, all right, stay tuned. I do have another really cool slider card for you on Thursday. And so I'm excited to do another one. I was like, can I find another slider card to do? Because I really am loving doing those. So I hope that you will check back on Thursday on my YouTube channel. It will be posted, and then it will also be posted here on my Facebook page. So, all right, take care. Have a good day. God bless.